Fabrizio Romano has just dropped a bombshell announcement about our £100 million target. But that's not all. Morgan Rogers has just made a crucial statement regarding his transfer to Arsenal. Furthermore, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia has just issued a warning ahead of Saturday's clash in Budapest. If you want to know all the details of these bombshell announcements as we prepare for European glory, subscribe now, turn on notifications, and let's dive into what could be the biggest night in Arsenal's history. Let's jump straight into the first story because Fabrizio Romano has just dropped even more encouragement for Arsenal regarding Julian Alvarez, and this is genuinely massive news. The Gunners have held talks to sign Alvarez in a £100 million deal this summer, with the striker's agent allegedly giving the green light for Andrea Berta and co. to pursue a move away from Spain. And Romano has now confirmed something absolutely crucial. Alvarez will not sign the new contract offers put forward by Atletico Madrid, and it has nothing to do with money. That's the key detail here. Romano said on his YouTube channel, "What I can confirm to you is what I reported here on the channel. Julian Alvarez has no intention of signing a new contract at Atletico Madrid, that's for sure." Many news on Julian renewing, Julian signing a new deal, Julian being offered money. It's not about 7, 8, 10, 12 million euros. Julian Alvarez will not sign a new contract. Think about what that means for Arsenal. When a player refuses to sign a new contract, regardless of the money being offered, it means his mind is made up. He wants to leave. He wants a new challenge. He wants to compete at the absolute highest level. The 26-year-old had a phenomenal season in Spain, scoring 8 times in La Liga and 10 in the Champions League. Those are absolutely elite numbers for a striker in European football's toughest competition. He's expected to start up front for Argentina at this summer's World Cup, which will only increase his profile and potentially his price tag. Whether that bumps his fee up even further remains to be seen. But Atletico's negotiating stance is significantly weakened by the player's refusal to extend his current terms, which expire in 2030. This is exactly the type of news Arsenal needed to hear. Alvarez wanting out of Atletico puts all the power in Berta's hands when it comes to negotiations. We can dictate the terms now. Now let's talk about Morgan Rogers, because the young attacker is believed to be very excited about the possibility of joining Arsenal this summer after Mikel Arteta's team joined the race to sign him. Rogers has enjoyed yet another huge season at Aston Villa, producing 14 goals and 13 assists, including a goal and assist in the Europa League final. That's elite production at the highest level. But despite Villa qualifying for Champions League football, the attacking midfielder looks set to leave the Midlands this summer, and Arsenal are one of the clubs actively chasing him. The 23-year-old would certainly be an interesting option for the Gunners, and the player himself seems very enthusiastic about the potential move to the Emirates Stadium. According to Alex Goldberg, who regularly covers Chelsea on TalkSport, Rogers is very excited about the idea of moving to Arsenal. Despite interest from Chelsea and other top clubs, Rogers' focus seems to be entirely on joining the Gunners. That's brilliant news for Arsenal. When a player of that caliber wants to come to your club specifically, it gives you a massive advantage in negotiations. Lyle Thomas claims that Rogers is open to leaving Villa, with Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain all interested. The Midlands club would want in excess of £80 million for the attacking midfielder. Noni Madueke recently liked a post about Arsenal being linked to Rogers, and it's clear he would be a popular addition among the squad. This summer, Rogers will be going to the World Cup with Bukayo Saka Madueke, Declan Rice and Eberechi Eze, who could all be getting in his ear about Arsenal. Rogers would be an interesting addition given his ability to play both the right wing and through the middle. The Gunners are hoping to add a left winger this summer, but Rogers' versatility makes him valuable regardless. Whether Arsenal would be willing to spend over £80 million on him will be a different story, but his interest in us is certainly encouraging for the summer window. Now let's talk about Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, because the PSG superstar has sent Arsenal a warning ahead of Saturday's Champions League final in Budapest, and his confidence is absolutely oozing. Kvaratskhelia is confident PSG will beat Arsenal in the final. The Georgian winger insists Luis Enrique's side can overcome anyone when they play their own brand of football and stick to their principles. Kvaratskhelia, who has scored 6 goals in his last 6 knockout stage ties, that's absolutely elite form in the biggest matches, spoke to PSG's club media ahead of the showpiece event, attributing the French champions' success to their collective unity and team spirit. I think that it's one of the team's biggest strengths. We're happy to play together and are very close-knit, and we know that if we fight for each other and play our own brand of football, we can beat anyone, Kvaratskhelia said. He also talked about his own development as a player, revealing that he's grown from an individual-minded footballer into someone who prioritizes the team above all else. When I was starting out, I think I was more of an individual player than a team player, but I soon realized that you're nothing without your team. Not many players can win games on their own. I realized that when you have a good team where every player gives everything, the results follow. On the difficulty of facing Arsenal specifically, Kvaratskhelia is supremely confident. It's really difficult, as we've already seen. We've had a lot of games where we had to fight until the end, and we've beaten a number of very strong teams. But we've got a lot of quality. We have players who can do it all, so I think that we just need to believe in ourselves and give everything to win this trophy. But here's the thing. Arsenal won't be intimidated by Kvaratskelia's warning. Not even slightly. We've got our own belief, our own momentum, and our own game plan for this final. PSG head into the final as favourites and defending champions, chasing a feat only Real Madrid have achieved in the Champions League era, defending the title, but Arsenal have just won the Premier League title. We're the hottest team in Europe right now. We've got unbelievable momentum. Mikel Arteta has geared his own players up, saying that they will be champions of Europe on Saturday. And a defence that has conceded just 6 goals in this season's Champions League will absolutely not be fazed by a winger, however dangerous, who talks of belief and unity. Arsenal have plenty of both belief and unity. That's what champions are made of. Arsenal defender Jurrien Timber completed the Gunners' first team training today, according to Hand of Arsenal. The Dutchman has been out of action since March following a groin injury against Everton at Emirates Stadium. Timber has been optimistic about his chances of playing on Saturday and has handed Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta a much-needed injury boost. The North London club needs such a defender against Paris Saint-Germain's attack in the Champions League final, and the Netherlands international could be available for selection. Timber will fly with the rest of the squad to Budapest on Thursday, and Arteta will then decide whether to include him in the matchday squad. Only Ben White will be missing from the Arsenal squad to face PSG from the look of things. The England international defender was ruled out of the season after sustaining a significant medial ligament injury against West Ham earlier this month. It is a blow for the Gunners given his quality, but Arteta will look elsewhere and will hope Timber is fit enough to feature against the League One champions. PSG head into the game as favourites and defending champions after running riot against Inter Milan last season. They ran out 5-0 winners against the Serie A club and could give the Arsenal defence plenty of problems. Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba will both be eager to prove their centre-back partnership against arguably the best attack in Europe. However, the Gunners also need their fullbacks to put in a solid defensive performance on Saturday night, and Timber could be the perfect option. It remains to be seen whether Arteta will start a player who has missed their last 14 games in such a huge match, and the Spaniard has some huge decisions to make at the back. Alright Gooners, that's all the massive news as we prepare for the greatest night in Arsenal history. But here's the truth. Arsenal are ready. We're champions of England. We're going to be champions of Europe on Saturday. That's not arrogance, that's belief. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think we can beat PSG in Budapest? How excited are you about Alvarez potentially joining us? And what do you make of Kvaratskelia's warning? Drop all your thoughts in the comments right now. I read every single comment, and your energy is incredible. Let's get a proper discussion going as we prepare for history. And if you enjoyed this breakdown and want every Arsenal update throughout the final and beyond, you absolutely need to hit that subscribe button immediately. Smash it right now and turn on notifications. We're going to be European champions. Until next time, Gooners, believe in this team and come on you Gunners, let's win the Champions League.